Hey, good evening. Dark Desert Moon, 6:54 p.m. It is March 15th. I think there was an old saying, beware the Ides of March. I think that this is the day that would be, but I don't fully understand that whole thing. I just always think, okay, it's March 15th, and I just remember that saying, so I'm always thinking, okay, well, am I supposed to beware or something? Anyway, so I wanted to make this video because, today I was thinking about standards, and I do have very high standards, and I would say that my standards serve as a protective purpose in a lot of cases. Take for instance this issue with people who had no good intentions for me. And I hate to I'm not talking about gang stalking in depth, but this is just an example about the kind of standards that I would like to demonstrate that I have the ability to be a very good, faithful friend. Now, the friends that I've had in the past have basically all decided to stab me in the back, and then I think their intention was to basically leave me with absolutely nothing. No career, no hope for the future, to destroy every dream I ever had, to destroy all my friendships, ruin my reputation. So these people did have murderous intent. I will not ever forgive them for for what they did. And I believe that the only reason why they would be apologetic is because they got caught. And that sort of behavior is, and I'm not trying to name names or anything like that, but that sort of behavior is a good example of why certain people should not be forgiven for certain things, okay? Now, I know like in court, they have different degrees of like attempted murder. They have like second-degree murder, first-degree murder, and that's based on the intent behind it. There are sometimes, and don't get me wrong, murder is not justifiable, okay? Taking one's life is not within a human being's right, okay? And so, therefore, I do not excuse murder. But when it comes to people who do murder, okay, sometimes people get in heated arguments, and they might have meant to just pick up a vase and bash someone over the head, but that little vase was a little too heavy. And even though it was a violent act, their intention was not to kill this person. Their intention was to, maybe hurt them, maybe make them back off a little bit, but they ended up killing them. In this case, the court of law will take, there should, if there's people who have good judgment, which at this point in my life, after experiencing all this, I'm going to say that they don't. But so if something like this does get, that's why I don't ever want to see myself in court with me having to defend myself, because I cannot trust people to make good decisions. But in a court of law, under law guidelines, this person would be considered, maybe they might have a lesser penalty for this person because their intention was not to murder or not to harm intentionally. In this case, these people had every bad intention for me. And so this is why I'm telling you about why you should be careful about people that you call your friend. Okay? Now, friends, in my mind, okay, is somebody that I can trust. So when I get to know someone, if they tell me a secret, I'm not going to tell anybody. Okay? And I mean that. Okay? It's important for me to show, even though I never get the same kind of consideration back from other people. I mean, I have literally there was not one good person that I can say that was a part of my life. Not one. Not fucking one. Okay? But even though I don't get that sort of consideration from other people, what my goal in life is to do is to never fall into the low standards and behaviors and the hypocritical, backstabbing life that most people live. And therefore, I feel as though I want to always say that when it's time for me to go from in this world, I want to die with a clean conscience, and I want my friendships, whatever few I have, which are basically non-existent, okay, are pure. That I gave myself purely, and my intentions were always pure. I want to be a good person. I do take my spirituality very seriously, which is one of the reasons why I could never be a part of their religion that they were desperately trying to convert me to. And the reason why the issue of them trying to convert me was not about being concerned about my afterlife, my soul, roasting in hell for all eternity. It was a one-upmanship, and they're willing to use their name, the God that they're supposed to honor and respect. They're willing to, put this person and basically blasphemy in a way, or disrespect a God, using religion as an excuse to bully someone. The list goes on and on and on and on. But my point is that I look for sincerity in people. I do look for sincerity in people, and it matters to me. It matters that you don't do things that defile a friendship. Okay, like for example, if I was to have a friend who's probably imaginary at this point, because maybe people will never match my standards, and if that's the case, then I'm okay being alone. Because I have been around people who literally have murderous intent. That's murderous intent, and don't you ever try to tell me anything different, okay? So when I think about friendships, I believe that people should have common interest, and it's not that I want to snub certain people, because I don't, but we have to think about issues when relating to compatibility. So like my biggest issue is like, I wish I had a girlfriend to hang out with. I really do. Somebody who, number one, respected me, and I in turn respect that person. If they tell me a secret, you better believe I'm not going to. I will never throw their name out in public to where it could be trampled on. I would never speak ill of a person that I'm supposed to have a friendship with to another person. Why? Because I understand that life's journey is not easy. And what you say about another person could cause them harm. Okay, if you truly care about somebody, why would you do that? People don't think about their actions. They just instinctively act out evil continuously. I do not like the standards of the world. Okay, I am very grateful that I didn't have that kind of influence that my ex-family wanted to force on me. And many times when I was younger, I was confused, and I would go along with the bullying, not really understanding that I was being manipulated in certain things. But I stepped back, and I started spending more time by myself, and I'm glad that I have, okay? And I have decided that I'm better off by myself a lot of times, okay? And, I'm polite to people, and I think it's important to not mistreat people, just because you feel like you can't trust them. If they have not done anything obvious that's going to hurt you, like you're not aware of it or whatever, there's no reason to mistreat people, okay? But when it comes to the kind of standards that I have, okay, what I'm looking for in life is not gossipers. I'm not looking for people who want to one-up me with me. I want harmony in my life. I want friends that bring me like incredible joy, incredible happiness, and I do the same for them, right? Other than, why waste your time on people? I don't understand these sort of relationships that people have that they complain about all the fucking time. Like, they'll sit there and talk about how this person is doing this to them and blah, 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 blah. And then they'll sit there in the conversations talking about how they're having plans to go out and spend some time this weekend with this person. Like, why? Why do you allow yourself to entangle yourself with people who do? I understand sometimes it's necessary, okay? Like, for example, you have maybe you have a certain relationship to where it's like a business trade or something. You have to communicate with people. This I fully understand. But when they talk about, their and their kids are going to go out and do stuff together, and they're having this little relationship and this sort of, why are you around people that wish you ill? They don't care about you. They want you close so that they can get information about you, so they can turn around and abuse you. This is the fact, okay? And I do look at this issue that happened to me as kind of a social experiment, really. And if you really think about it, it is, because, like I said, it proves so many points about a lot of things. Okay, very eye-opening to me. So when it comes to that part of me that, you know, it seems standoffish, and people have called me that before. I'm standoffish. I am standoffish because I give people their space, number one, and number two, I don't ever want to give, and people, I know people must gossip about me, okay? They probably do, okay? But in reality, deep down, I have not done anything to anyone to make them gossip about me other than their own self-hatred and their need to be a part of a clique of a bunch of fucking corrupt people. Okay? So, yeah, I do have standards, and I do take friendships very seriously. And, you know, I have not been in communication with anyone that I've known in my past, and I don't understand how somebody could think that I would want to after going along with this. I mean, how do you explain something like this? How do you explain destroying somebody's life? How do you explain that, really? I mean, you can't. There's nothing you can't apologize for the 10 years that I missed out of my life for your own fucking entertainment at my expense, you know. And what these people are evil, you know. I look at religion and spirituality as two different things, and I'm never going to bash religion, because I think for some people, okay, very few, okay, because I will tell you, if this is a social experiment and you think about the people who got involved in this and tried to use their religion on me, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, you know, there's certain people who claim to be Christians, and they are extremely genocidal, extremely. And they don't realize, they think that, you know, if you're not putting a gun to somebody's head, that's okay. But they'll tell you to shun certain people, blacklist certain people, bully someone to the point of where you're going to listen to them. It's not that they expect you to have this revelation or this close connection to God. It's about them doing things so they can have something like a one-upmanship type. So these people, to me, are pure evil, is what they are, period. And I've been around evil all my life, okay? The very fact that, you know, it lasted for such a long time tells you that there are some people who will stalk you for the longest time, and they have nothing, but they really want to see you at a point where you are just dead, okay? Seriously. So anyway, because I understand how humans are, and I really do. That's why I try to stay away from people, because if I read into people too closely, then I'm going to deem them evil, and I'm going to want to get the fuck away from them. So I just try to be as polite as I possibly can, and, you know, and I am a very polite person, okay? But you have to literally have a good heart in order for me to want to be friends with you. And it has to be demonstrated. You cannot sit here and betray someone and then turn around and think that you can be somebody's friend. You know what I mean? You have to consider, you know, was this something that you thought about? Was this something that you intentionally did to harm another person? And why do you expect forgiveness? You know what I mean? Don't expect forgiveness when something went on for years and years and years and years, and this person is basically having their rights denied, begging for their life, and basically scared shitless. You're a terrorist, is basically what you are. That's what you are. So, and I'm talking about the people that I used to know who did this thing, this terrible thing to a human being, and tried to destroy everything in my life, you know. But anyway, yeah, you know, I think I do. I sit there and think about what would be cool. Like, this happens like on Friday nights a lot, you know, because, you know, I think Fridays are nights that you should be out, you know, you should be out and about. And yeah, I would be out and about. If I had a friend, I would be out and about. Now, I don't drink anymore, but I would probably go and listen to some live music or something, you know, and then we'd come home and, like, talk, and, you know, I don't know, play some cards and maybe like do some arts and crafts and hang out, and then she'd go home and whatever, and then the next day we'd go to garage sales. This is the sort of stuff I would love in my life, okay? But, you know, I've had people try to be my friend almost too quickly, you know, and it seems like very suspicious. I'm not comfortable with that because I feel like they're a part of the perp chain and they're just wanting to gather information to the perp that basically wants me dead. You know what I mean? So you have to be very, very careful about that, and I'm aware of that. And it left it left an impression on me that will be there for the rest of my life, because I have never. It is very traumatizing for not just when you think about the ill intent behind it, and the people who went along with it. They're either dumb or they're evil. Like, seriously, you're either dumb or evil if you continue to do this, and you're a terrorist. So I feel like I deal with that kind of shit all the time, and it just gets to be a little too much at times to me. So anyway, yeah, high standards. I have very high standards. I do think that I have good taste when it comes to how to treat other people and being friends with people. It's just that I am very careful about having interaction with people who are influenced and maybe have, you know, sort of like friendships with people that I consider to be evil. You know, it's totally understandable. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I got my new order from Temu, which is really kind of entertaining. I ordered like some, I think I mentioned this in my last video, that I got some, like, I was looking at AstroTurf, right? And so I had my son come over to help me figure out how am I supposed to order this on Amazon, because with things like that, like do-it-yourself projects, Home Depot, stuff like that, I literally become overwhelmed in Home Depot. It's too, I don't know, masculine, I don't know, but I really needed some AstroTurf, okay, because what I'm doing is, I don't have a backyard living in the apartment that I do, and I live in a very low quality way of life, mainly because people have always, like, you know, yanked me out of my job just when I feel like I can be comfortable, and it's happened so many times that I live as a minimalist for the most part. Anyway, going back to it, I needed to go and get some AstroTurf. So anyway, I realized that stuff's too expensive. So I got like 8 sheets of it. And so I got some of that from Temu, and I was like really excited about it. And then I'm looking at it and thinking I really need more, because I just don't want, I'm just like really cheap. I don't want to spend the money for it. He's like, it's going to be about $300. I'm like, I live in an apartment. You know how people pick up and move? Do you really think that I'm going to spend $300 for something that I'm not going to use for like a long, long time? You know, so anyway, yeah, Maria's cheap. Anyway. But yeah, I'm happy with my order. I really do think you guys should check them out, because I know buying from Amazon is fun too, but like I really like the little merchandise that they have. It's cute. They have some pretty nice quality stuff, and stuff that doesn't really fall apart is what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a good evening. I'll be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye-bye.